Ladies and gentlemen, we have what could be kind of an unbelievable story that is starting to develop for the Detroit Lions and a young man by the name of Dylan Drummond. I don't know if you know him. I don't know if you've heard this name, but I'm here to put the Lions fans on notice. This is a guy that is making a running to be on this team. So here's what we're going to cover in this. We're going to talk about who Dylan Drummond is. We are going to talk about what he has done in training camp, where he came from, and then what's happening with the other wide receivers that, when you put it all together, is making me think to myself, this dude has a legit shot at making this team. This undersized, undrafted free agent that is such a good story. This is a guy that only got one NFL tryout, and it was during the mini camp. It was with the Detroit Lions. He had 3 days. He wasn't even going to make the roster, the 90-man roster, until he had that rookie mini camp to show what he could do. He showed what he could do, and he found his way onto the roster. Now he's a long shot to make it on the 53, but it's getting even better. So here's an article. This was on M Live earlier, and it's talking about how this undrafted rookie receiver has been one of the surprises of Detroit's camp. He's racked up so many catches. He's had so many yards with the second and third teams that he drew a shout out from head coach Dan Campbell before practice Thursday morning. Here's what Dan Campbell had to say about him. He said he makes plays every day. He really mentally can play all the positions. He competes in special teams. I would say he's hard to ignore. He's just hard to ignore. He's continuing to climb the depth chart. You know who else was something like this? Craig Reynolds. This is what Craig Reynolds sounded like. None of us thought he was going to be there. He's this kind of undersized, kind of slow running back. Nah, this ain't going to be the guy. But guess what? He was. And then we had the inter-squad scrimmage recently, and Drummond took the field for that and continued his surprising climb from tryout player in the spring to a dark horse to make the roster in the fall. He beat top cornerback. He beat Cam Sutton, y'all, on a slant for a touchdown. Cam Sutton has been nothing but solid, joining St. Brown as the only wide receivers to score touchdowns on the day, and he wasn't done. Long after his teammates had left the field, including St. Brown, who is a worker among workers, Drummond remained on the field, shagging punts, running routes, and catching passes off the jugs machine and more like that. Man, like, this is really cool. So I'm going to take a pause from this one, and I want to take you to another article that I was reading, and this is the Detroit Lions injury report after day 11. So I'm going to make an even greater argument as to why Drummond's going to make this team. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but we can see why he would make it. All right, first, we have Jameson Williams. He was just out. We have no idea why. We don't know if he was hurt, if he was missing practice for another reason. All we know is that he was out. Now, he's going to be out for the first 6 games anyway. Duh. All right. So he's not competing with Drummond to make a spot on this team, and he's got his spot locked up, but he's already out. Now, Denzel Mims. During Saturday's practice, he made an amazing catch over the middle, but was bumped off course in midair by Walker, causing Mims to go down hard. All right. Now, what it says is that he stayed on the ground for a while, and then he was able to hobble off the field and later would walk inside under his own power. Probably a sprained ankle or something like that. All right. But he's only been with the team 2 weeks. He is going to lose valuable time if he's out for any significant portion of time. Now you can couple that where you still have wide receiver Trinity Benson. He remains out with a leg injury, but Campbell noted on Thursday the outlook is good for him. That's good. But another guy who's missing time. So we got Mims missing time. You got Benson missing time. You have Williams missing time. And don't forget, Tom Kennedy is already out for the season. He's going to go on the IR. If we keep him on the team, which why not? If you can put him on the IR, you may as well. So all of a sudden, this Drummond guy doesn't have nearly as far to climb. I'm just saying, like, think about it. Think about it, everybody. Just think about it for a second. All right. So now I'm going to present one more screen to you. All right. And it is the wide receiver depth chart. So you can get Williams out of there. Mims, that can be tricky. Benson's out. Antoine Green's been hobbled by injuries. All right. You don't even see other people on here. So you go St. Brown, Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. They're probably going to make it. Now what? Is Dylan Drummond the guy? What if they keep 6? What if they keep 6? Is it Denzel Mims and Dylan Drummond? Is it Antoine Green, Dylan Drummond? I'm just saying there's an argument to be made. And if this guy doesn't get on the team, he will make it to the practice squad. You can almost guarantee that unless he just goes nuts. But what it sounds to me like he could become is that replacement for a Tom Kennedy. Just a guy that you know is willing and able to do it. But here's what I love about him. They did an interview with him. This is that same MLive article. He said this: I definitely have that feeling that I do belong here. He said, I always keep reminding myself of that. It's easy to look up and see some of the guys. Like, for example, Amon-Ra. The way he plays ball is unbelievable. I've never played with anybody like him. It's easy to look at that and be like, oh, I got to get to that level. But he has things into perspective. Look what he says next. But right now, I just got to take one step at a time. I try not to put too much pressure on myself. I know that each day is about doing something better. So I know if I mess up something today, I won't mess it up. Just continually do that day after day, and things will work out. All right. Drummond said of his opportunity at the Lions, he said, it was my only opportunity. Me knowing I was a good enough player to be at this level, it wasn't as stressful as you would think. I knew I had to come in and show I belong here. I knew I could show that. All right. That's amazing. That's just amazing. All right. He thought he did that during training camp, but the final day wrapped up. The Lions thanked the rookies for showing up and sent them all home. Not a good sign. Here's what he said. They had brought out all the trial guys after practice, said, hey guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for showing us what you have. We have your contact information, so we'll contact your agents if we have anything come up, Drummond said. At that point, it looked like everyone was going home. So I showered up, ate lunch, and was just finishing up lunch and was about to get in my car and drive back to Cleveland. Then Liz, his agent, texted me and said, are you still in the building? And he wasn't going anywhere. All right. It actually goes on in this article. I didn't realize that, to talk about the injuries that we have. Is it a long shot? Yes. But it's not looking like as much of a long shot as it was before, especially if we keep 6 wide receivers, which is looking more likely, especially with Zylstra, the tight end, getting injured. It's looking more like we're going to keep 3 tight ends instead of maybe 4. And we might not keep a fullback. Anyways, there's a lot of different things that are going on with the roster. 6 wide receivers is not out of the question, especially with everything up in the air with JMO. So he can make this team. It's kind of exciting. It's just kind of nuts that we keep finding these diamonds in the rough. He's beating actual good players. So anyways, we'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Love the comments. All right.